Hey everyone, I'm now ready to start off a round of Christmas films for 2020, and for that, I'm going to start with the 1942 comedy, The Man Who Came to Dinner, starring Bette Davis, Ann Sheridan, and Monty Woolley. Now, radio personality Sheridan Sherry Whiteside, Monty Woolley, and his secretary Maggie Cutler, Bette Davis, have come to Messalia, Ohio, where he is to give a lecture. But first, he is stuck having dinner with a prominent Ohio family, the Stanleys. Now, things go horribly wrong when Sherry slips on the icy stairs to go into their house, and in the process injures his hip. Now, after 2 weeks, he finally comes out of the den in a wheelchair. He promptly threatens to sue Ernest Stanley, Grant Mitchell, for $150,000 and takes over the main part of the house for his activities, since the doctor says he shouldn't be moved elsewhere. Now, Ernest tries to get him to leave, but Sherry just threatens to sue him for even more money if he's forced out. Now, over the next few weeks, Sherry causes more trouble for Ernest by advising the Stanley children to follow their dreams. Now, during that time, Maggie starts to fall for the local newspaper owner and editor, Bert Jefferson, Richard Travis. Now, Sherry is less than thrilled with this turn of events, especially when Maggie decides to resign as Sherry's secretary. Now, since Bert has written a play, Sherry decides to call up his actress friend, Lorraine Sheldon, and Sheridan, in hopes that she will break up Maggie and Bert's relationship. Not long after she arrives, she starts in on Bert. Smelling a rat, Maggie enlists the help of a visiting actor friend, Beverly Carlton, Reginald Gardner, to get Lorraine to leave. Now, it almost works until Bert accidentally spoils everything. Once she realizes that she's been tricked, and why, Lorraine promises Maggie that she will do her best to take Bert away from her, which results in Maggie running off. Now, the following day, Sherry finds himself in trouble still, as Maggie still has plans to leave his employ, and Ernest Stanley has sworn out a warrant to have Sherry evicted from the place. Now, Sherry's Hollywood friend Banjo, Jimmy Durante, also comes to visit, but the two of them find themselves trying to figure out how to help Sherry out of all the trouble that he's gotten himself into. I really admit, I've been watching this one and getting a few good laughs out of it for a number of years now. The casting alone makes this movie work in my mind. Monty Woolley as Sheridan is generally hilarious, with all of his complaining and demands, meanwhile protesting in a manner similar to Professor Higgins from My Fair Lady that he is a kind soul that is always kind to others, even though we can plainly see he wants his life his way, and heaven help those who try to have a life of their own. Now, I feel for Grant Mitchell's character Ernest Stanley, who, at the insistence of his wife, played by the great Billy Burke in an also humorous role, who got stuck inviting Sheridan over for dinner, and in the process lost the use of his house, not to mention being sued for a great sum of money. Now, of course, the way Ernest treats his children and their dreams shows us that he has his issues, not to mention the secret that he's hiding about his sister Harriet. Now, as Beverly Carlton, a character that was apparently based on playwright Noel Coward, Reginald Gardner is at his least reserved, and consequently about as funny as I can remember him being in any of his movies that I have seen. And Jimmy Durante also adds to the fun as the Harpo Marx-based Banjo, mainly chasing girls like Harpo would. But otherwise, he's a bit more conversational than we're used to Harpo being. But to throw in all the animals that get sent to Sheridan, Mary Wicks has the poor nurse stuck trying to take care of him, and this movie is guaranteed to keep me laughing for some time to come. Now, of course, since I'm starting to get in the Christmas spirit here, I've certainly got to talk about that. Now, this movie takes place over the Christmas season, with the last part of the movie taking place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day itself. Obviously, we also have snow on the ground and Christmas trees in the house, including a second tree in the Stanley's bedroom since they aren't allowed in the main part of the house, with presents under the tree, not to mention all the gifts that are sent to Sheridan while he's recuperating. And Sheridan Whiteside has his radio broadcast on Christmas Eve where he starts to regale his audience with the story of the original Christmas. I will readily admit that the movie pushes the boundary being a Christmas film just because Sheridan can be such a nasty character, and he really doesn't seem to learn to be a better person by the end of the movie. But whether you watch it as a Christmas movie or just for fun any other time of the year, it's a lot of fun, and it's worth quite a few good laughs to me. So yes, I do recommend it. This movie is available on DVD from Warner Archive Collection and is 1 hour and 52 minutes in length. Well, that should be all I have to say on this one, everybody, so thanks for listening, and I hope you keep tuning in for more.